Hey Connected Life, Dr. Steve here. If you are having any difficulty making a decision, this video is for you. Stick around. All right, Connected Life, as you know, we try to give you everyday solutions for life and things that are going on, both physical needs, psychological needs, and helping you to live your best life. Now, I had spoken with a woman who was just in a transition of work, and she said, I'm kind of torn of what decision to make. I have this current job, super stable, been doing it for years, know exactly how to do it, yada, yada, yada. And I have this new opportunity. It's a 9-month contract, and I just don't know what to do. And I said, okay, well, let's look at, and we come back to a frame of whether you call it Tony Robbins' 6 needs, or which is what I used here, or it's almost like a spin-off of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But at the same time, there is a needs assessment that we looked at to assist her in opening up her own mind to making a decision, to kind of like come off that, that kind of like when your foot's on the brake but your foot's on the gas at the same time, and you're grinding, you're spinning your tires, can't quite make that decision. So we just gave her a little bit of leverage. She was at that point where she was grinding. She wasn't in the early starts of making the decision, but she's kind of there, like kind of hedging and sitting on the fence and just kind of ready to jump. So so that's what we provided her, a very simple tool. It's like took 10 minutes to go through her with. But hopefully you could follow the same thing. So here's what I asked her. I said, hey, listen, so let's go through how this current job is meeting these specific needs. She said, okay, well, the need for certainty, there's a need for certainty, variety, connection, significance, growth, and contribution. Those are the 6 needs outlined by Tony Robbins. You can go check that out. So I said, hey, listen, okay, so what is the current certainty of your current job? And she said, well, from a security standpoint, both, that I'll have a job and financially, it's a 10 out of 10. I said, great. How about the variety? Well, that's a 4 out of 10. Connection, I like my coworkers, they're good coworkers, 6 out of 10. How important and significant do you feel in the job and the work that you're doing? That's a 5 out of 10. Growth, that 0 out of 10. There's no growth happening. It's like heavily weighted in certainty. And contribution was 8 out of 10. So she felt like she was doing good work for people. So we just kind of like looked and see, okay, well, what's the missing link? And obviously growth was a huge factor. So then we flipped to the other side, and I said, okay, let's take a look at the other side. So this new position, this 9-month contract, how much certainty is it going to provide you, both job-wise, financially wise? Well, she said 10 out of 10. Great. How much variety and adventure is it going to provide you? 10 out of 10. Good. How about connection? Well, I am going to meet some new people. I'm going to have still the people that I work with, but I'm going to be expanding my kind of social connections within that new job. Great, 8 out of 10. How about your significance, what you're going to be doing, how important you feel this job is? And she said, oh, that's a 7 out of 10, so a little bit of an upgrade. Growth, huge upgrade from 0 to 9 out of 10. So once she saw that, she's like, holy smokes, that's actually a huge upgrade in my growth. And she values growth, by the way. And contribution went up 1 notch to a 9 out of 10. So when she looked at this overall, it was kind of a no-brainer for her on where to move towards, because essentially the 2 major leaps that she was able to take with this new position without sacrificing certainty was new adventure and an opportunity for growth. And those 2 things were enough leverage for her to see visually, to be like, why wouldn't I take this job? You could see like the mind just balancing the scale and seeing, and it kind of reveals almost like in a scale type fashion, where you're really going to be balancing out your equation. And this is a much more fulfilling experience than this is. Not that this is like horrible by any means. There was just really no growth there and not a ton of variety and adventure for her, which was important for her. This, she saw, was going to be a much more fulfilling 9-month experience. And so she took the leap. I talked to her a week later, and she took the leap and went for the new position and is having a blast in it. So again, something very, very simple. If you're sitting on the fence with a decision, write those 6 needs out, write what the current needs and how they're being met from 0 to 10. 10 being on the high end, so 0 to 10, and then write out what your future anticipated is reasonable as you could see, not some fantasy, but we were able to go through and she was able to articulate how she would be growing in that position, how the variety would be upgraded in that new position. So she had information about that new position, so she wasn't chasing some wild fantasy. She had data on each of these. So she was able to then kind of objectively look and say, why wouldn't I go for this? This totally makes sense. And so she took the leap. So again, make sure you're not chasing a fantasy, that these are grounded in information that you could be able to articulate and say why these kind of are the numbers that they are. But once you do that, you'll get the comparative analysis of whether to stay or go, or to go left or right on a decision, and it'll be more obvious of where the heart and where the mind and where your natural evolution is calling you to go. So good luck on this. Hopefully this little quick bit was helpful for you. If you have anybody that you know that's sitting on a fence in a decision, please share this video with them. We'd love to spread our message even further, and we rely on you to do that. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next video. Hey guys, Dr. Steve here. If you hate this channel, leave a nasty comment below and don't subscribe. But if you do like this content, I'd love for you to be able to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a wonderful, inspiring comment below as to what you're learning. So we'll talk to you soon.